Alright, back for another Comic Couples. This time, it's on the Amazing Spider-Man himself, Peter Parker, and his amazing in her own right wife, Mary Jane Watson Parker, often called MJ. Again, I do my Comic Couple videos on comics that are canon, so there is no elsewhere, otherworld, or alternate universe comics reviewed here. Okay, let's get started. Peter Parker and Mary Jane first met in The Amazing Spider-Man number 42 after continually missing each other, an occurrence that happens over and over within their relationship. Mary Jane was the primary romantic interest of Peter Parker for most of the 40 years between his first appearance in 1966 and the One More Day story arc of 2007. Mary Jane was created as a romantic interest for Peter as well as a rival for Gwen Stacy, who became Peter's girlfriend, who he did love. And though he did love her, as I said, the writers tried to pivot Peter's hero arc around his love for Gwen and his guilty conscience following her death at the hands of the Green Goblin, aka Norman Osborn, in The Amazing Spider-Man number 121. And despite them doing this, the fans favored Mary Jane. Now, Gwen cheated on Peter with Norman Osborn. Peter broke up with MJ because he knew she was a party girl. But the great thing about well-written characters is that they grow and evolve. MJ is a good person. And though she and Peter did break up, they became best friends, and she even became a friend of Gwen Stacy. She helped console Peter through his grief after her death, and she was strong enough to handle him lashing out at her in his grief. Now, MJ is a cocky, strong-willed woman, and she's very honest. She knows Peter to his core, and though, of course, fears for his safety, what loving girlfriend or wife wouldn't, when you know your spouse or boyfriend is a superhero, she knows that his heroic duties as Spider-Man are very important to him, and she's not going to take that away from him. They've broken up over this, though, this fear and instability of him dying or of it affecting their personal life, but they always find their way back to one another. Plus, MJ actually figured out Peter's secret identity as Spider-Man. No one had to tell her, like so many stereotype comics. She's smart enough. She can figure it out. And she did. Now, The Wedding is a story arc from The Amazing Spider-Man Annual, number 21, in which MJ and Peter get married. It was published in 1987 after Spider-Man creator Stan Lee, God rest his soul, posted an announcement in his Spider-Man newspaper strip when he wanted the two characters to get married. Getting into sadder, darker territory now, though. As much as the fans loved Peter and MJ together, several writers at Marvel thought that having Spider-Man married would age his character. They didn't want him to get a divorce, though. So after Peter revealed to the world his secret identity in the Civil War storyline, the Kingpin villain sent an assassin after him, MJ, and his Aunt May. And Aunt May was fatally injured. In an attempt to save Aunt May's life, the 2007 storyline, Spider-Man One More Day, erased Peter and Mary Jane's wedding from comic continuity. The marriage between Peter and Mary Jane was so strong that even Mephisto, which is Marvel's version of the devil, wanted it. He was tired of making deals for souls and wanted something that would hurt God. He wanted the marriage of two people who truly loved each other, who had a rare and powerful love, which was the marriage between Peter Parker and Mary Jane. In exchange for Aunt May's survival, Peter and Mary Jane's marriage would be wiped from history, and their own history would become frigid and painful. Only Peter and MJ's souls would remember the happiness and love from their marriage, and Mephisto would be allowed to feed off the pain that their souls felt from the new reality forever. Details about the literal deal with the devil are further explained in the story arc A Moment in Time, also called OMIT, and Mary Jane, being the amazing, clever, witty woman that she is, tells Mephisto that Peter would never trade their marriage for Aunt May's life unless she told Peter to accept the deal. So in exchange for her convincing Peter, Mephisto makes a deal with MJ that he will leave Peter alone forever when the undoing of their marriage is done. MJ wins here because, as she tells Peter before they forget their lives together, they love each other and will always find a way back to each other, which they have.